hosted PhoneGap app, or the third way would be, to send the image off of some service in the cloud and then have it come back processed. So there's a couple of ways you could do it there.
Okay. Any other questions for Glenn before I go do my 10-minute spiel? Okay, Glenn, thank you very much for your time. Really, really appreciate your... All right, talk to you soon. I'm going to stop recording and then bye. Okay, let me save it. Glenn Gordon, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll let that process. Okay, so a couple other things. One more time, this bit.ly/CS164 phone is going to bring you here, and I'm going to actually go through a demo of building a Silverlight app instead of a game, as Glenn mentioned. So if you go bit.ly/CS164, whoops, bit.ly/CS164 phone. What's cool here too is some of these links we're going to give you sample code, which I'm going to go through. But if you want to create a phone app, if you want, a map, if you want to create something with your accelerometer, I'll show you a couple of these examples. But it's pretty cool. This Jumpstart series over here shows videos. So it's actually videos of different examples, and they provide the code. The code is this link, which gives you all the code and the presentation zipped. So if you really want to get quick started, this is a great way to do it. So one thing I'm going to do right now is I'll highlight a couple of things with phone development. So first, maybe I'll do a quick hello world just so you get familiar with adding elements and creating a hello world app on the phone. So when you install, going through WP7 SDK tools, bit.ly, it'll bring you to the SDK tools, and you can just install Visual Studio 2010. It includes all the phone development tools. So I'll walk you through sort of creating that first phone app, right? Over here, again, if you're not familiar with the IDE, you have New Project on the top left. And after you install the SDK, what you're going to see is Visual C#, Silverlight for Windows Phone. It has all these different templates. So if I scroll down, you'll see one has to do with Panorama. As you saw Dean go through some Panorama apps. There's Pivot, but let's start from the beginning, straight up Windows Phone application. I'm going to double click on it, choose Windows Phone OS 7.1. And what you'll see is the emulator load, as well as in the middle, you'll see this thing called XAML. In the middle, and then on the right you'll see this sort of user interface type of being able to mess around with the properties, etc. So I don't have great real estate over here. I'm going to zoom out a bit. So my emulator is on the left. I have my XAML code in the middle, and I have sort of this UI way of modifying some of the code, some of the XAML as well. First thing I'm going to do, let's go ahead and I'm going to put my mouse over Toolbox, and you'll see that I have all these different elements available to me. So actually I'm going to move this over just so I can drag it into the phone. So Toolbox, let me go ahead and drag and drop a text block. So over here, here's my text block. I can drag it. You'll see these little orange markers over here. So it's sort of like a snap to ability. And a really cool interface where you can see how large the pixel size is. I'm going to name this object over here, text block, my text block. Okay. And you'll see over here now, the text also says text block. I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep it blank. I'm going to delete what's over here. So it's blank, and you'll see text block go away. Also, if I click on the object, on the XAML part, I'm going to drag it over here. You'll see text block height equals 52. Text is blank. Horizontal alignment left, width 183. I'll change this to say 100. Right, and there's multiple ways. The point is, there's multiple ways to modify your objects, either through XAML over here or on the properties over here. You can even do, let's see, height. You could even do a search, right, on which property that you want to modify. Height, right there. I'm going to go back to Toolbox. Let me drag this out. Toolbox. I'm going to create a button. Right, all I have to do is drag a button into the. It's kind of. Nope, I got to move this over. Sorry, again, because I'm projecting. Let's do that again. Button over here. Okay, so I'm going to name this my button. Enter. Right, and the content, if I click on it, I see that, I'm going to remove this. I see the content property over here is button. So I'm going to say click me. Right, and it says click me over here. Now if I can actually drag this and move this around, you see how it snaps, right? So you can actually have pretty good alignment right there. Click me. So anyone know how to create an event or event handler for a button? Like if I click on this button, it will do some piece of code. Anyone guess? What do? Double click the button, right? I can double click the button and it brings me to my C# code, right? It creates an event handler, my button underscore click. It already, creates it automatically. So if I do C# my text block, and if you don't know Visual Studio, there's something called IntelliSense where it really takes a lot of the guessing out of the code when you're developing. So my text block dot text, right? It gives you all these different suggestions, right? If you do on apply template text, you click on it, it actually gives you more information. So text equals hello CS164. Bam, right? Now I'm going to hit this play button to start debugging. And what it'll do is it'll bring up my emulator. It'll go through the code. And the first time you run the emulator, it takes about 10 seconds. Right? So really, really simple way to develop an app for the phone. So while this is running, let's see. I have so many cool things, especially if you guys, I wanted to show creating an app with one line of code. And something that when I did this at UPenn to do a demo, someone was an Android intern, and he said it would take him about 5 to 6 hours to do what I just did with one line of code. So the developer story we have is actually pretty good. And I want to kind of get that. Oh, of course. Hold on. You know what? It's probably because I dragged that other button in there. I thought we would go by really easily without an error. Okay, it was that second button. I forgot I could have just fixed it right there. My bad. I just want to do this right from the beginning. Okay, let's go to new project. And I'll kind of skip a lot of the steps that I did. Show you right from the start. All right, real quick. I mean, that's like the simplest demo. I shouldn't have not even done anything. Let's see. All right, here we go. Text block. Insert. All right, name this my text block. My text block. Let me see if I can do this speedily. Okay. Toolbox. Button. Let's not care what the contents are, and I call this my button. Okay. Done. Double click on my button. Insert my text block dot text equals hello CS164 part 2. Okay. Play. Debug. Okay, deploying application. If you see this on the bottom left, and bless you. Here you go, bam. Hello CS164 part 2. Let me show you something real quick. I only have 4 minutes. You guys want to see a little more of this thing or the designer app where you have something cool in one line of code? Sure, that was kind of dumb. All right, cool. So this is part of the sample code that is in the CS164 phone link. It actually has this sample code for what I'm going to show. So for example, I'll do this real quick. It's under Blend. When you download it, you'll see it. It's under Animations, Begin, Flip Card. I must have put it somewhere else. Okay. Don't mind me. I did this for MIT too, so you'll see MIT. Sorry. Did I delete it? No. Oh my gosh.
It's only one line of code.
Yeah, I know, but I have all the pictures and stuff that I want to show you. Let me see if I could do this real quick. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Plenty of talks. Maybe I could do this kind of with like random pictures then. Okay, random pictures. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, so let me do new project. I'll create something new. I can't believe it's not there. Okay, so one of the cool things too is part of Visual Studio we have something called Expression Blend. So if you're more of a designer, you can right click on your project over here and then open an Expression Blend, and it'll open this in a more designer situated environment. Oh, this is bugging me now. I can't believe it's not here. Nope. Demo code and presentations, maybe? Yeah, all right. I can, but I don't remember the name of it. I know what folder it's in. I'm going to click yes. I'll see there's some pictures. I don't know if I want to, hold on. Display mute. I'm going to drag some pictures in here. Let's see, something easy. Okay, here we go. Here's an icon. And Edwin and George. Okay, let's go back. Okay, here we go. Edwin and George. This is kind of silly. So here's me. Here's George. Okay. I'm going to, it's supposed to be like the front and back of a card. So if I do 0, 0, 0, 0, I'm basically making sure this picture covers the entire screen. So if I click on George, this is George Matthews, by the way. He works at Microsoft Nerd. And I click this thing called Storyboard on the bottom. I'm going to call this my Rotate. Oh, God, we have 1 minute. Rotate card. Let's see if I can get this done. All right, so what I'm going to do over here now, there's something called Transform. And if I expand that, I can actually rotate this image, right? So I'm going to create a marker over here. And at time 1, I'm going to make the y-axis 90 degrees. So what ends up happening is if I go to the start, bam, okay? So I'm going to even make an effect. I'm going to click on that little keystone over there, and I'm going to make that easing function maybe elastic, something kind of crazy. So let's go back. Whoa, oh my God. Okay, so now I am going to close that, and here's my one line of code. Let me see if I can get this going. What I want to do is click on George, and I'm going to go to Events, which is actually over here. Where is it? Oh my gosh. It's like over here, sorry, Events. Now there's a tap event. So it's basically if I tap, I'm going to double click on tap. Oh, let's see if I can get this done. Let's see, this dot rotate card dot begin. That's my one line of code. This should deserve a round of applause if I get this to work. And I could redeem myself, run project. And basically if you have 2 cards, you can tap on each card and it'll like rotate. Okay, here we go. Let's run it. Cross your fingers. Here's George. Click. And then that's your app. Okay? All right, 3 o'clock on the dot. So if you have any questions, here's my contact information. You got the place you can download. Seriously, if you want loaner devices so you can test stuff out, I'm happy to do that, and Dean will work with me on that as well. Cool? If you have any questions, let me know. One line of code, people. Look at that.